Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Sitecore User Group Nagpur event. My name is Vikrant Punvatkar, and I'm one of the organizers here at SUG Nagpur, along with Mahima Patel, Sumit Salpekar, and Neha Pas. We are a community of Sitecore enthusiasts, of course, including you all, who come together to learn, share knowledge, and network. Before we move on to the real agenda, I'm excited to announce that the call for speakers for SUG India 2024 is now open. If you are passionate about Sitecore and have something valuable to share, I encourage you to submit your talk proposal. SUG India is a fantastic opportunity to connect with other Sitecore users across the country and showcase your expertise. Let's move on to today's presentation. I'm thrilled to introduce our speaker, Sandeep Kumar Gupta. Sandeep is a technical architect at Proficient and a 2023 Sitecore MVP in technology category. He enjoys research and development work in Sitecore and has contributed to a project based on SXA, ASP.NET MVC, and web forms. He's passionate about sharing his knowledge with the community. Today's topic of presentation is dive into XM Cloud Forms with introduction and live demo. In this presentation, we will learn how to work with XM Cloud Forms, including managing the forms, creating and activating them, and utilizing them on web pages. We will also explore its key features and current limitations. If you have any query, do drop it in the chat box and we'll go through it after the presentation. Over to you, Sandeep.
Thanks, Vikrant. Let me share my screen. Let me know if my screen is visible.
Yes, it is.
Okay. First of all, thank you, Sitecore User Group, Nagpur team and Proficient for giving me this opportunity. And I'm really excited to share whatever I know on this topic. So yeah, let's dive into XM Cloud Forms and see it in action. So today's agenda is very simple. We'll go through this XM Cloud form, its form builder, what XM Cloud form builder has to offer to us as a developer or business user. Basically, its target user is any Sitecore user because it's almost aimed to develop form almost with no code, I would say. It's very intuitive. One can just build the form, design it, and activate and place it on the page. So demo would comprise of various stuff like managing the forms. We'll try to create the simple form and test it, activate it, and use it on the page. While demo will try to go through its key features and its limitations as well. So XM Cloud Form is a SaaS solution, and it comes with the XM Cloud subscription itself. If you have XM Cloud set up already in your local, if you have your GitHub code of XM Cloud, and if it is not on the version GSS version 21.6.0, then you need to update on this version. This is the link you can follow and get your Next.js application upgraded. Only after this, you can place the XM Cloud form on the pages. Else it will give you that control is not identified, or it will give some other error. Okay. If you are using the XM Cloud had application, GitHub repository, the latest one, obviously it has the updates already. Okay. So moving on, let's see it in action. Okay. Prerequisites would be to have the XM Cloud app at least. So once you log into the Sitecore Cloud portal, we should be having the XM Cloud app from the organization provided, and we can play around with the forms over there. So once we click on the XM Cloud app, we have option for forms here. So we can click on this forms. So I have some forms already created, so it's showing it here. And this is the forms dashboard. It will list all the forms, obviously, and it will have the form status. We have three form status. When you create a form, it will be already in draft state. Then you can design the form, uh, finalize it, and there is a place where we need to provide the webhook. Now, this webhook, you can treat it as a HTTP endpoint, and this webhook should be attached on the submit button itself. So once that webhook is provided, it will become inactive state. Now, this webhook here we have aimed, in fact, Sitecore XM Cloud itself has aimed to have this webhook as an external HTTP endpoint. It can be the webhook provided by third-party applications, which can receive the submitted form data and process it or save it to an external database, whatever you want to do with that submitted data. We are not going to store the submitted data within the XM Cloud itself, like we have been doing in the previous version of Sitecore uh, in XM and XP. There we had experience form database storage. Here we don't have that. So we have to manage the submitted data. XM Cloud itself is not going to store any kind of form data. Okay. So here, obviously, we can search by the form name. Uh, okay, so we can search by form name and then filter it by the status. Then we can provide the labels as well to each of the form for, again, filter purpose. So here we can see, for example, required booking. We can add a new label or we can add existing labels as well. Even multiple labels we can provide and search by filter by the label. All right. So this is all about the forms management form listing dashboard has. And let's create a new form from here. Let me clear the filters. So I'll create a new form, book a visit. Let's assume we have a client uh, who manages property projects, infrastructure projects, and they want to put a form to allow customers to book a appointment, book a visit to the property site. So in that scenario, we are creating this form. So this is what we get. It provides the inbuilt layouts that we can use. So let me place this simple layout full width, and we can even place multiple layouts as well to form the desired structure. Okay, and I'll just remove this. Okay, we can do undo also. Okay, so let's place some basic form elements. In items tab, we have some active form elements which can accept the user data, and we have some basic elements like passive elements, I would say. This will be used to show some data on the form, which doesn't require any selection. It's for information purpose. And apart from this, we have this custom. So I'll touch this section again in some time. So coming to this layout, let's place some form elements, short text. This can be. So once we select this particular form element, we can see on the right side, we have the settings related to this particular form element. Now, this settings comprise of the validations, text related to this form element, and then also the validation part. Uh, so let's provide full. Okay, this is for search purpose, searching the setting. If I go here, it's the label. Full name. This is fine. One point to note it here is if you make it required and also hidden, then you won't be able to submit the form, right? Since the form element is hidden and it's required at the same time, it's not having any value. So we have to be a little careful with this part. If you want to make it hidden and required, do supply the pre-fill value. So it has some value which it can post, right? So coming back, let's make it required. And we'll go with the email. So here, this is fine. I'll remove the help text. It's not needed. All right, I'll add the second page. Now, this is another feature of XM Cloud Form Builder where we can add multiple pages, multi-page forms we can have. So upon adding this, this has turned the submit button to next button, right? Next to the next page. And it has literally copied the placeholders, not the form elements, but it has the same placeholder, same layout, I would say. So you can click this and I want to place the radio button. I'll remove this. Let's say this is for home type. Remove the help text, make it required. We can manage the options. Flat. Then we have villa. Okay, I'll keep it simple to understand all the features with a simple form. And here I would place home type and date. So let's put a date here. This can be the visit date that we are planning. And we can see the back button as well and the submit button. Up to 10 pages we can add as a multi-page forms. Here we have added 2. So if you keep adding pages here, it can go up to 10 pages. It won't go beyond that. And let me put reCAPTCHA. Now reCAPTCHA, you can place it on the final page. The last page with the submit button is considered as the final page. So reCAPTCHA, you can't put it on the first page, it will give error, maybe upon save. So reCAPTCHA, it has to be on the last page of this form setup, as well as terms and conditions. We can have it on the last page. So these 2 components, it has to be on the last page. Let's preview this. Yeah. So this is required. I didn't make email as required. Okay. Let's put it Ramesh at test.com. Yeah. So I go back. Okay. Let me make it required. Yeah. Save a version. This provides various options to save. We can save it as a version. We can save it as a template. template is something Sitecore also provides some inbuilt templates in this template library. So we can use that inbuilt forms and edit those forms based on our requirement. And here we can also save it as template, our version. So let me go back. Mm, Yeah, I'll make this as required. This has to be auto saved. Yeah, it's auto saved. Now it's required. Next. Okay, submitting it. Now this asks us to attach the webhook. Uh, Without this, we can't proceed. So we can click on setup webhook. So per form page setup, we can only have one submit action, and hence we can attach only one webhook here. So these are some already created webhooks. We can go to manage webhook just to see what webhooks we have. Uh, Initially, we don't get any webhooks. It will be empty, so we have to create one. I'll reuse this simple webhook. It's very simple. You can click on add webhook, and it has various authentication types. So if your webhook requires any authentication, then you need to supply the credentials accordingly. I'll go with the basic authentication type here, and I'll be using the test site. Now this webhook.test webhook.site is a test site. You can simply visit this site and it will generate the new ID for you, and you can copy that new ID. Let me just copy this. Since I have already opened it, it's giving me the current one. So once you open this site, you can click this URL. This is a webhook, and place it in in the webhook properties here in the URL. Okay. Okay, no authentication. I'll go with the no authentication. So you can place the URL here and provide the name. So I'll use the existing webhook, which is a simple webhook here. You can see here as well, if the webhook is not in use, it will show no, and that webhook only you can delete. The one which are in use, you can't delete it. Okay, you can only edit. So this options limit restrictions are there. Okay, so I'll just click on this. I'll reuse this webhook, which is nothing but from this place. I can clear this as well. More, delete all request. The same webhook. It's the same webhook. Yeah. Let's close this, and I'll select the simple webhook. We get option once it is submitted. What form can do, whether it should redirect to a new URL or it should just show the success message, right? So I'll go with the success message here. We can edit the success message. It has rich text editor tools available, and let's make it italic. And we have a failure message. So if your response is not OK status, which is 200, then it will give the failure message, right? Let's go with this. So coming back to this, I just added the webhook here to the form. Let me save this. It should be auto save, and I'll go back to the preview. I'll just confirm. Yeah, it's saved. I'll go back to the preview for testing purpose. submit it. Now, before actually pushing it to the webhook endpoint, it will preview the data here. Since it's a test tool, here in the preview mode, we can see what is being submitted, and all the input fields data, we can see it here, and the reCAPTCHA stuff is also there. Let's submit this. We can see form has been submitted successfully. And if we come here, yeah, this is the data we have received. Okay, so it's up to us how we want to manage this data from our webhook endpoint. We can come up with the custom application which can provide the webhook implementation, or we can use the existing tools like Zapier or Pipedream, which can accept this data, and it will provide some workflow stuff like whether you want to push it to Slack or any other application. So we have some inbuilt tools available, or we can come up with our own tool. So moving on here, other stuffs like we can maintain the versions of the form. By default, it is auto saved, but we can have our own version also. If I save it, yeah, okay. So this will act as a checkpoint. I have this version, and I can switch back to multiple versions if I want to revert or anything. Now we can even provide the comments. For example, we can select the form element or the layout itself and provide the comment that match the design with Figma, for example. Okay. So it will show the comments here, and one who is managing this form can check on this comment and mark it as resolved once that work is done. We have this toggle button to see the resolved comments and the in progress comments, active comments. Apart from this, let's go back to the edit one. We have stuff like undo and yeah, redo. It's auto saved, and we can even clear it. So let me clear it. Since I have saved it, one version, I can reuse a version if I want this form back. So I have cleared this. What I want to show it here, some stuffs like yeah, template library. So this is the place where we can see the inbuilt templates, and we can select any of them or preview it here before using it. Now this templates doesn't have any webhooks attached. Okay, we have to attach it later after using it. So use template we can do. Yes. So here it has added the template. We can preview it. Now, since I use the same form instance, cleared everything, but not this part, so it has retained. All right. Now, you can use this, but let me show you two stuff like a moment. I'll get that. Let's reuse this. Yeah, so I can restore the previous form from the version. Now here we can provide the properties value to a particular form element, and we can store it as a custom item altogether. So we can reuse that particular form element with the already provided values to its properties on other forms or on the same form itself. So for example, here let me provide character limit to 150 maybe, just to showcase. Okay. So you can click on this form element and you'll see, okay, that's got layout. You can see create custom item. So we can click on this create custom item, test, and just make it a test custom item. Now this custom item element would appear here in the custom section, and you can place it on the form, this one or any other form. It will reuse the set values. You can see character limit 150, it has returned along with other property values. So this way we can set form element once if we have a lot of stuff to set, and save it as custom item and reuse it. I'll just delete this since I don't need this on this particular form. Let me delete this as well. Okay. Apart from custom item, we can also have custom layout. So let's go to layout and just go. Let me try to make, no, it's not going. Okay. Let's make it here. I'll add some text. Is it? Oh, let me take a better example. Let me refresh it. What I'll do, I'll simply drag this here and here. Okay, so these two form elements now are part of one layout. Okay, so here we need to be a little careful on selecting the form layout. Now this part, when I mouse over on this icon, we can see the layout is highlighted, and here I can save this layout as a custom layout. Test basic profile layout. Now this custom layout appears in this tab itself, layouts. Here we can see this, and I can place this here. I can reuse it literally. All right. So all the property values on this form element and the layout are retained. They are reused. Now, one point to note it here is if this layout is having the final submit button, you can't place it again on the form itself. You can just have it only once. If you try to place it again, it will give some error. So this we are able to place it because this doesn't have the submit button. All right. I'll just delete this as well. Okay. So far, so good. Now, yeah, this is fine. I'll just put it above. Let me put it here. Book your visit. Hmm. Let me move it back. Yeah. Yeah, I can delete it this way. Last time it didn't appear. So it does take a little time to show those tools. Yeah, now it's fine. Save a version of this just to be on safer side. Okay, so we have covered the comments, preview, versioning. We have covered the settings as well. We covered the custom form element, custom item, and custom layout stuff. Now, yeah, this part is pending. So here we have styling. This is at canvas level. Uh, we can provide the styling. If I put it 800. So yeah, looks something like this, and can provide basically we can manage the styling from here. And as far as validation messages are concerned, uh, this is at one place. Now, required field validation message, you can modify it here. You don't need to provide it again and again. Uh, this is at one place we can manage it. Uh, even email field and phone number as well. All right. Any questions so far, guys? Before I move on, because once I activate this, I can't edit this again. Any questions?
Sandeep, do
Yeah.
you want to take questions? I see one from Balaji.
Okay.
How many
Yeah.
how many webhooks can be added per form? Is it only
Only
one?
one. Only one we can have, since we have only one submit action. Now we can have multiple next action, which will take us to the next page. But in multi-page form, we only the last page has the submit action. Or if you have one page form, then only one submit action, and hence only one webhook we can attach. Not more than that. We can manage multiple webhooks. That we can do, but at one form we can have only one webhook. Any other questions, guys?
Balaji, if you
Yeah, one.
like, I've
Yeah,
unmuted you. You can go ahead.
yeah.
Okay.
One more question. Can we use this Psycore forms in other non-Psycore applications like iframes?
That's a good question. So far, I haven't seen in documentation, but I think that is the plan, because this is a separate SaaS solution, and it's a composable one. When I say composable, it's not going to depend on any other application, but other applications would consume data from this standalone XM Cloud form. So right now it's not possible, but that is something we wish to see from the site code, that they provide some embedded code that we can literally place it on other application. Right now, I haven't seen in documentation so far.
Yeah. Thanks, Sandeep. And regarding the styling, right? I
Mhm,
see you already changed as blue color.
mhm.
So can we able to style only from this location, or is it some custom style we can able to apply through CSS or anywhere?
Yeah, so only from this location we should manage. We can override this styling, but I would not recommend that. Uh, Maybe I can quickly show you if it's possible. So here I can just provide something like this. I see it here, going to get compiled, and refresh. Yeah, it will not work because I haven't given the important. Let me provide the important. Yeah, so now it has updated the styling. Okay, so this way we can still override stuff as far as styling is concerned, but I won't recommend this part. So yeah, coming back to this form builder.
Sandeep, again, there are two more queries here. If you like, I can narrate it for you.
Yeah.
The one is from Akash Gedam. He's asking how we can add custom submit action if required. So, do you want to answer that, or you want to cover that in your next?
Okay. So see, custom submit action. The thing here is in XM Cloud, we can provide only webhook. There is no implementation that we will make it as part of our repository, our GitHub repository of XM Cloud. We can do that. Like we can have the REST API implemented in the Next.js application, and we can use that REST API here, provided it accepts the JSON payload. It's a post request, right? So that way we can implement the webhook from our side. That I would call it as a custom submit implementation, that we can use it here in the webhook itself. Okay, but it's targeted to be on a separate application outside the XM Cloud instance, Next.js head application. Okay, so we can reuse the webhooks in other applications. It's independent, basically, the webhook implementation.
Okay, and if it is a redirection, like if we want to, after submitting redirection or something, like we just now able to see the messages. So other than that, we can add it, right?
We can provide the redirect to a URL and the failure message. Okay, it can be any external URL or any page from
internal.
our XM Cloud. Internal we cannot provide, but we can provide the full URL, right? It can be internal page, but we have to provide the full URL here.
Okay, and if there are multiple submit actions, so we need to go step by step after webhook and other than that, right?
See, multiple submit actions are not there. It's only the next actions. Okay, so if you go to edit again, this is the next action. This will take you to the next page only, and you will have only one final submit action on the final page. Okay, all right. So yeah, these are the stuff. Let me quickly check. Is there any? There should be other stuff as well. Something is wrong with my mouse. Let me stop sharing. I'm sharing it again. Yeah. So these were the key features. We'll quickly see this. So layouting we covered. It's completely drag and drop form elements we have. We can manage the styling and validation on the canvas for the form elements. Then we have seen the custom layout and custom item. All these are the key features for this form builder. And we can also provide the comment, preview the form in different devices. So here we can see we have this devices. When you preview it, we can see the mobile device, tablet, and desktop. We can test that part as well. And yeah, versionings and form status, webhook we covered, template library, then this is also fine. Yeah, limitations. Coming to the limitations, let's quickly see this part. Once the form is activated, which we'll do in a minute, and we'll try to place it on the page. Once the form is activated, we cannot edit and we cannot delete it. Okay, so we have to be a little careful for now before making it active. If you want to edit it, then there is only one option. You can duplicate the form and edit the new one, activate it, and then replace it with the old form on the pages. So you can go back to the page wherever it's placed and select that form. On the right panel, it will give you the options for the new form. So you can just select the new form. It will replace it. But we have to do this for every page wherever it's being used. Okay. Now, localization is not there. So for each language, we have to create a new form and yeah, use it in the final version, probably, right, for the same page. And we cannot have the custom form element from scratch. We cannot build the form element from scratch. For example, I have a start date and end date form elements. The end date, it has to be ahead of the start date, right? So that part, for that part, we have to code some JS. Right now, it's not possible. So we cannot build a form element comprising these two date elements, right? So that's the challenge right now. But as we have seen, we can create a custom item provided for a particular form element. We have set the properties values, right? That much we can reuse the stuff. And moving on, form doesn't get hidden once submitted. So once you submit the form, it will show the success message, but it will not hide the form. All right, so this is another limitation. I think in this XM Cloud form is inspired by Sitecore Send subscription form. So that subscription form has this feature. So I hope we'll get to see this feature in the future enhancement of this XM Cloud form builder. Then styling gets disturbed. Okay, this part we'll see. And let's cover other stuff. Let's activate this and see it on the page. Save and activate. Let me confirm if I have anything to change. Okay. But this much is fine. So let's activate this. Save and activate. Yeah. Form activated successfully. Form. Book a visit. All right. Do I have multiple book a visit? Just a moment. Yeah, this is active one. Okay, it took some time to refresh it here as well. So book a visit is the form. It's now activated. And one another thing I missed. You can filter the forms. Maybe inactive. You can click this and you can perform the bulk operations here. So let's say if you have multiple inactive forms and ready for activation, you can select those forms and activate it from here. And again, once it's activated, we can't delete it. Although here it will show, but it won't work. It will give you the message. For example, this one, if I try to delete this, it won't allow us. Okay. One of your forms could not be deleted. Please select only draft and inactive. And we can also add the labels. So activation, deletion, and adding labels, we can do it in bulk operation from here. So moving on to a page, we will cloud page. Now, this form, once activated, this can be used like any other component. This will be available in the component tab. Booker site. Or we can also use this form in the component builder, which we'll see in a minute. So I can place this. Let me select the page where I want to place this form component, Booker visit. Just drag and drop. Takes some time and it should appear. Yeah. So we can just preview this and try to submit this part. Let me select 16. Select. Let's clear this. It's not needed, but just to be precise, submit this. Has it timed out? Something is wrong. It has received the data. Somehow there it didn't show up the success message. Let's try one more time. Thing is weird. Let's check. No, it's not showing the success message. Just a moment.
Yes, Sandeep, just a quick time check. We have 5 minutes left and a question from
Sure.
Shailesh as well.
Okay, give me 2-3 minutes more.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll cover it. So book of visit. Takes forever. Yeah. Okay, this was the issue. I have selected redirect to URL when answering. So we can click on success and it's auto saved, right? So good part is once the form is activated, at least we can edit the settings. All right, we can't edit the design and other stuff. We can't delete the form, but we can manage the settings. Refresh this. Something is here. One last try. Yeah, it showed. So it was a CSS issue. It was not loading it that. But yeah, it does work this way, and we can see we have received this data here. I'll quickly show in the experience editor just to understand this part. Mm. We show it from here. Experience editor would take more time to load, but yeah, in the final layout we can see it has used the bring your component wrapper, and if we check its property, this is how it refers to the form ID. So it has this wiring details from here, and the Next.js component will take care of binding the form onto the page. So this is one thing. It will use the bring your component wrapper. And since time is less, I'll just mention this. We can use the component builder as well from here. So if we component builder is basically a place where we can combine multiple components, and we can make a snippet over there, and we can use that combined components on the page. And if we do that way, then the wrapper would be the front end as a service wrapper. Uh, so that's the only difference. But yeah, it uses a different wrapper there, and here it's bring your own component wrapper. So uh, here we can just use the component builder. You can have your collection and have the component added. This one, I've already added one form uh, just to show you. Once you create a component, you can use this add element, and here, oh, not again. Component. So here, just a minute. Test, edit. Actually, here it should show form. That form we can use. Somehow it's not showing, but yeah, we can use that form to add other forms on this snippet and use this. But yeah, some glitches there. I have checked this in the morning. Somehow it's not showing now. But yeah, that's the only difference. And lastly, I'll just cover this part. The styling gets disturbed if we use the form from the component builder a little bit, but it works. And this is another limitation: conditional logic, like based on form elements values. If we want to show and hide other form elements, that's the conditional feature Sitecore is going to come up with in the next enhancement, probably. So this is the current limitation. And yeah, this is going to keep on improving, as we just see in the last one. Form is not showing, but in the component builder, but it does work. Some glitches there, but yeah, it will keep on improving. We'll see continuous updates on this in the coming days. Yeah, I think that's all from my end. Maybe I can take the questions. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Sandeep. I see one question from Shailesh. Can we add hidden fields?
Of course, we can. So I'll go back here. Go visit. You can place any form elements, the short text, for example, and you can mark it as hidden. Okay, and you need to provide the values for it. Okay, so it does have something to post, right? So we can add the hidden field. Okay, this is the active one. If I go to this one. Okay. So you can just play or select the existing one, and this place you can just mark it as hidden. It won't show up. Let's see. Yeah, you can use it. Any other questions, guys?
I don't see anything like anything more, Sandeep.
Okay. So
So
just
looks like, oh, yeah,
one
please go ahead.
last thing. Yeah, one last thing. So if you like reading and exploring stuff, then you can check out Proficient Sitecore blogs and my personal blogs if you want. And you can find me at Slack with this name and on LinkedIn on this. I'll be happy to listen to your problems and figure out what's the solution I can provide. Yeah.
All right. I know we are a little bit over time, but thanks
Sorry for
everyone.
that.
No, no worries, Sandeep. So it's time to wrap up. On behalf of the Sitecore user group Nagpur, I want to express our sincere gratitude to Sandeep for taking his time to share his expertise with us. I would also like to mention and thank Proficient for supporting us in organizing us in this event. Last but not the least, I also want to thank each and every one of you for joining us today. We appreciate your interest in Sitecore and your support to the Sitecore user group Nagpur. Thanks everyone. Have a good day.
Thanks, Vikram. Thanks, everyone.